The veteran American television presenter Regis Philbin has died at the age of 88. Mr. Philbin was the most prolific presenter in the history of American TV, spending more hours in front of the camera than any other television personality. He's best known for hosting the US version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and the long-running morning show Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, which later became known as Live with Regis and Kelly. Well, we're joined now from the US by the singer Deana Martin, who was a long-time friend of Regis Philbin. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for joining us. Our condolences to you for the loss of a friend. Just tell us about what he was like.
Oh my gosh! And thank you, Aaron, for inviting me on. But it's Deana, okay, like Dino. my name. I'm Deana. Yeah, that's all right. So Regis was the most amazing guy in the world. He was funny. He was kind. He was the hardest worker I've ever known, aside from my dad, who just, was always, it seems like he was always working. But Regis Philbin was down to earth. He, he was a dear friend of mine, and he would come to my concerts, and he would get up and sing with me. And in fact, on my show on Friday Live, I'm going to make a toast to him and probably sing "You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You," because that's the song he would always sing with me. And as I say, he was he and Joy were a joy to be around. They were just, down to earth and hard workers. And he was, he loved Deana Martin. And in fact, one of the pictures I think that we have sent you is I'm sitting on the Deana Martin chair that Regis got from my dad, and he was just so excited about that. But we have definitely lost a true legend. And he was, as you said, in front of the TV cameras more than anyone ever. But he loved that. In fact, I was on one of his first TV shows when he was the announcer for Joey Bishop. And so that's going way back. So I've known him for many, many years. And, I've gone to his house, and I was on Regis and Kelly. He was just an amazing human being, and I hope everybody knows that and remembers the incredible work that he did all through his life, and charities also, what he did. But I tell you, he was just one of the, as I say, the greatest guys, and he could sing, he could dance, and I loved when he would sing with Joy, because you could just see the, the love in their eyes. And as I say, they would come to my shows, and in fact, the last time, it was not long ago at Herb Alpert's Vibrato. It's a jazz club in Beverly Hills, and I was singing there, and he and Joy came and sat in the front row, and it was he's just truly a remarkable person, and I hope that we always remember Regis Philbin, the Reg, and he was a good pally of mine. And
Deana, just looking back over that career that spanned so many years, how did he manage to stay popular and successful over so many years when styles and fashions changed?
Because he moved along with it. But Regis had his own style that was classic and timeless. And he would keep up with things. He would keep up to date with what was going on. And there was nothing that he wouldn't try. He was always trying to learn new things. He was always doing that. And I remember he was very nervous, to get up and sing. He didn't really want to sing "You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You" because, Deana Martin had done it. But he got out there and did it anyways. But he was ahead of his time. He would he would read. He would watch things. He was up to date on everything that was going on, not just, the Great American Songbook or just his TV show that he was doing then. He read, he learned, he experienced everything. And there was something about him that's just timeless and classic. And just a dream to be with. Even the way he spoke, he was excited. You'd sit there with him, it could be at dinner or on his TV show, and he would say something to you, and then he would just come out with something. So he kept you engaged. He kept young people and older people. Everybody loved Regis. Everybody in the world still loves Regis Philbin. And it was just such a shock to hear that he's no longer with us. But we have all of his work.
And Deana, if you could just share one memory with us, with our viewers around the world of what he was like, what would that be?
Oh, my last memory when we were at his house with Joy, my husband and I were at his house because I was interviewing him for a radio show. And he was just so, he took me around to all of the memorabilia he had in his home. and we stood under a photograph of Dean, Frank, and Sammy, a Rat Pack, and he just held me. And he put his arms around me. He said, "I just loved your dad, and I hope that I can be like him one day." And I said, "Regis, you are definitely right up there with Dean, Frank, and Sammy. You're part of us." And he just looked at me, and tears were coming down for his eyes, and he just hugged me, and I'll just never forget that. And that wasn't that long ago. And he was in good health, and joy was there, and he was just a tremendous, kind, sweet, loving, hardworking individual, and I know that he loved his audience all over the world.
Well, Deana, that's such a lovely tribute you've paid. Thanks so much for sharing your memories with us here on BBC News.
My pleasure. Thank you for doing this.